What is up, guys? Zach here, also known as Angry Irishman 86. We got a replay game for you today. I am on the way to Feudal Age. I am playing the Cumans, and my opponent is playing the Magyars. So he's up here in red. I'm down here in blue. And so, real quick with the Cumans, they recently got a little bit of a buff. They have always been able to make a second town center in the Feudal Age, which people learned pretty quick. Well, not pretty quick. It took a little time, but people learned how to pretty much dominate you if you tried to do that on Arabia. So the developers tried to kind of even it out, and the buff, all it is that your stables and your archery ranges cost 100 less wood. And that comes into play here, which I will show you here in a minute. We're going to go ahead and speed through a little bit of this. Not much going on in Dark Age. Just over here scouting around. Okay, so I do go for a second town center. My opponent sees this. He forgets to run his scout away. Okay, so normally what people would do against the Cuman two town centers in Feudal Age is just massive, massive pressure. So I'm thinking that's what he's going to do, so I wall off here. Get housed a couple of times really badly. Okay, let's see. Is he in Feudal Age yet? He took his time getting to Feudal Age. Oh yeah, he is in Feudal Age. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to. Let's go. What was guy do? Puts me in the middle. Okay, so I got my second town center up now. Obviously, with this, I'm going to be collecting resources a lot faster than him. So he's got his stable up. Again, he's the Magyar, so he gets that +1 attack on his scouts automatically. He's already producing scouts. Let's actually go back to my Fog of War here. So I'm not really seeing anything. I'm not too worried. I've got spearmen. I make a couple more. Yeah, one's over here. Not that he needs to be because I have my town center there. So we'll go ahead and speed this up a little. So just not doing a great job of scouting over here, but just moving along. Okay, then I see the scouts come in. All right, still, again, not worried. I've got spearmen, even though they're pretty tough scouts. That +1 attack. I see this archer, and I'm a little worried. So I actually, a few times, I clicked over here and tried to make a tower, but I've made a town center. I don't have the stone for a tower. I don't have a market to buy any. So he's coming in with skirmishers and archers as well as the scouts. He does a good job like pulling me off and picking off my spearmen. Not the greatest job, but so here's where the buff comes in. Normally I wouldn't have had enough wood to make a stable right away. Ooh, that was a bad fight for him, and if I would have noticed, I could have jumped in my TC and probably caught another one of them. So this does get messy. So I see this, I know that he's planning, he's feudal aggression. Feudal aggression, feudal aggression. Okay, so my berries run out, I'm running over here. But I'm also thinking, okay, I might need a tower at some point. So let's go ahead and collect some stone. See this, and I'm like, uh-oh. He knows that this is here. I've got a couple of scouts being produced, but he can take those out real fast. So I decide, you know what, let's run them. The nice thing with the Cumans, since you have two town centers, you lose a couple of these villagers, it's not a big deal. Like one of them is stupid and runs this way instead of the way all the rest ran. Whatever. Okay. So then there's a lot of dancing. He apparently didn't see all of my villagers running over there. But let's go ahead and speed it up. So I'm thinking, scouts will probably be enough. But I'm thinking he's going to go to the Castle Age and try and apply some pressure. But he just keeps pressuring in the Feudal Age. So it gets a little hairy for me. So I figure I better drop an archery range. Again, here's where the buff comes in. I probably would not have had enough wood to make that. And as you can see, he's doing a really good job of idling me. But 2 town centers. It is such a huge advantage if you can pull it off. Let's see. Yep, see this down here? Again, a lot is going on, so it's hard for both of us to keep track of everything. He could have picked off a couple of villagers there if he would have ran his scouts here and then hit them with the skirmishers back there. And he keeps running under town centers when they're garrisoned and losing units or just hit points. And then this was a huge mistake by him. He runs 1 villager forward to try and tower. 1. Now, if I don't see it and it works out, that's great, but the likelihood that I see it, as you can see, it's in the middle of my base. Like, I'll lose some scouts to get rid of that. Okay, and now that I've got some stone up here, I'll just go ahead and tower that myself. So not a whole lot happens right here. He's resorted to taking out houses. I think he could have used this better to run around, maybe try to pick this guy off. Maybe just harassing and keeping my economy idle. Like right now, 19 idols. My goodness. Hey, that's because I garrison. I forgot to click on garrison. But then he wastes these. 5 skirmishers dead. Where's she going? What's she doing? Okay, now I'm safe here. Safe-ish. And so, okay, so things have kind of stabilized. They got pretty hectic, as you saw. He's still trying to apply pressure. Get on him there. But really, at this point, I don't want to say that I have the game won, but I have a really big advantage. You can look at the score down here, 400 points ahead. That's pretty big in the feudal age. I got housed really bad, and it's because he actually did take out one of the houses, so that's annoying. Then I tried to build a house, and I accidentally clicked a different button, so they didn't build the house. So I'm housed for a while here. Like if I were playing against a better player, that could have done a lot of damage. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward a little bit. I am on the way to Castle Age, and he's still coming forward with pressure, which, I mean, that's at this point that's pretty much all he can do. Not the greatest pressure though, because he runs under a town center again. I did not see this. Okay, nice and sneaky by him. I do at some point see it. Again, got so much going on. I keep seeing archers popping out. I'm trying to micro this. See that jerk right there? Trying to take my house out. I wonder if he gets that. Oh, scout took out a house. Hey, I did see that come up. I build my own tower. Not a big deal. You know, again, I've got 2 town centers already, so if he let's say this takes out 3 or 4 villagers, I have a huge villager lead, so it doesn't matter. Okay, making a siege workshop just in case. I gotta give my opponent props. If I were him and I saw him 1,000 points behind, and my opponent has gotten to Castle Age, he's got 2 town centers producing, I probably would have been like, alright, I'm out. Let's go and speed it up. This gets knocked down eventually. Okay, and now here's where things start really turning towards me. I have a ton of resources, not the most wood. I could have done a better job balancing that. But once I start getting stables up, we got knights. I can make camels. He's Magyars, so he can only make knights out of his stable. Yeah, a little messy, but let's go ahead and speed this up. Not a whole lot goes on for a little bit here. I take a few bad fights right here, but again, I'm thinking, no, whatever. I can constantly be producing, and I lose I don't know, 10 units there. He loses about 8-10 units, but right behind that, I've got 5-6 more ready to go. Let's see. And then I'm starting to harass his base. Clean this up. Let's go ahead and speed this up again. And I'm starting to get enough for a castle. Now he does do something here that kind of shocked me and surprised me. He's still trying to put pressure on. If he would have had siege up here too, maybe siege and monks, then I could have been in real trouble. But I go ahead and decide, alright, time for being defensive is over. Let's move out. Okay. He actually did have a mining camp there. I'm like, alright, I'll put this castle out front. That's what I'm thinking. He's only got palisades. And again, so much going on. I break through there pretty fast, and I just start decimating his economy at home. Again, just kind of throwing away some knights. That's alright. I hear that. I'm looking here. I remember this part. I'm looking here. I hear the monk sound. I'm like, uh-oh. We go home. Oh my goodness! He dropped a castle on my face! But, again, Cuman privilege. I have so much resources, I was just like, alright, I'll throw away some villagers to a castle. I really don't care. I'll put my own up. I don't even think I lost that many. And I can throw, what do I got? 18 villagers in there. He's got maybe 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even then. And I'm just over here wrecking face. My score lead's increasing constantly. I'm still producing out of 3 town centers. I do have a ton of idols, but, you know, what does that matter? I've got a siege workshop back here. I was starting to produce out of that. I have found some more delicious villager kills back here, and he calls it. So, alright guys, so just real quick, you know, going over it again, that second town center, I was lucky I had a pretty good spot to put it in. He did a really good job of pressuring in the feudal age, but the problem with pressuring in the feudal age, I can hop in a town center, and he can't really push it. So, getting that town center on a wood line, in between a wood line and a gold, was huge. Running my villagers away from here was huge. You know, even though the score says I was massively ahead, there's a few times, man, he just kept running in. I was a little worried. But that buff where the stable and the archery range don't cost as much really helped out. So, alright guys, I also have another Cuman game coming where I'm playing against the Cumans, and I'll show you a different way to approach attacking the Cumans when they do their 2 town center boom. That should be my next video. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you could, just leave a comment below. Smash that like button. I'm pretty sure that's what all the kids are saying nowadays. And we'll look forward to the next one.